Willie D Live.
What's up, family? This is bad. There's an organization called More Perfect Union, which has exposed the state of Alabama for farming out incarcerated prisoners to work at hundreds of companies, including, get this, family, McDonald's and Wendy's. I ain't got no problem with that. Lock them up. Lock them up. Lock those uncivilized mutts up. Check this out. The state takes 40% of wages before taxes, and they often deny parole to keep people as cheap labor. Moreover, getting written up could lead to solitary confinement. Yeah, fam. Like, if you're tired after working 12 hours for the state, if you're sick, you call in, you got to go. Ain't no call in, you got to go. It don't matter. You got to go. Family, this is slavery. This is modern day slavery. These people are something else. The Alabama Department of Corrections, ADOC, they get $450 million every year of prison labor. So all of y'all out there talking about, well, my tax dollars going to this, when y'all talk about inmates and stuff, y'all always looking at the inmates as the villains. They just the worst of the worst, taking my tax dollars. They don't need your tax dollars. But they'll take them anyway. $450 million. This is just one state. They're getting $450 million a year. As I said, they take 40% of the inmates' wages before taxes. One dude that was being interviewed said, if you make $600, you'd be lucky to walk away with $200 for the week. If you make $600 in 1 week, you might see $200. You might see $200. There are people at the Department of Corrections that get assessed and are trusted so much that they are told, you can leave here and go to work. Go do whatever you gotta do. Do what you wanna do. We'll see you Monday morning at 8 o'clock. Which means that some people actually go home. There are some people that go home for 72 hours. As long as they show up for work, the state is on some wink wink. They good with you as long as you show up for work. But check this out, fam. Those same people, when they come up for parole, they get denied because according to the parole board, what you did 20 years ago was so bad that we can't let you out. But we'll see you at work at 8 o'clock in the morning on Monday. So let me get this straight. An inmate is good enough to work in the public, in customer service, work at some of the biggest chain restaurants in the country. They can move all around freely in society as long as they're still under the custody of the ADOC. So they're trustworthy enough to go out into public and work amongst the free, but not trustworthy enough to be paroled and not be in custody and work amongst the free. Because even when they get out of jail, they oftentimes can't get a job because of their felony. How does this work, fam? How does it work that I can work at a company when I'm doing it at the behest of the state? As an incarcerated person, I can actually work for this company while incarcerated. But once I get free, I can't go to that company and ask for a job because I'm a felon. Y'all don't see anything wrong with that? And Alabama ain't the only ones. This is happening all over the country. So how did we get here? After the Civil War, the 13th Amendment abolished slavery with a key caveat. Forced labor was still allowed for people convicted of a crime. However, in 2022, Alabamians made an historic vote to remove this exception. However, the governor and the Department of Corrections doubled down and decided to punish anybody who didn't want to work. So damn the will of the people, damn the fact that they exercised their right to vote. Yeah, I know what y'all saying, I know what y'all want or whatever, but we gonna do this over here because we got to get this money, man. And that's what this is about, fam. Now, check out something else dirty that the governor did and the Department of Corrections did. They lowered the amount of good time an inmate could qualify for if he refused to work. So this is how they control the inmates and they get them to work. This is how they control them. They control them by saying, hey, yo, you ain't gonna be able to get out early if you don't work. Hey, we're gonna put you in the hole. If you don't work, we're gonna put you in the hole. Just basically take away privileges. This is what they do. This is the name of the game, fam. This is the prison game. Again, this is not just in Alabama. This is happening in every state in America. Slavery was never abolished. It was just restructured in a more sociably acceptable way. These uncivilized mutts have been doing this for decades and decades and decades and decades. See, this is what they do, fam. Pay attention. Anytime they say they are going to do something to help black people, even the so-called freedom of black people, they had already their hook on how they was going to disguise that freedom as true freedom. What we gonna do is we'll just form the police and round them up, and we'll hold them in these prison camps, and we'll make them work for free. And all these corporations, these businesses who sign up to get these contracts with these prisons, they all in on it. All of them are in on it. Wendy's are in on it. McDonald's are in on it. The transportation industry is in on it. The textile industry. All of them, fam. They all have been in on it for years and years and years. The bacon industry, all of them. Because this comes down to greed. They don't give a damn about humanity. This is about greed. This is why they can give somebody a life sentence over a so-called 3-strike rule when that person ain't killed nobody, they ain't attempted to kill nobody, it wasn't even a violent crime. Sometimes it ain't even about selling drugs or anything. They just, you know what? I'm gonna throw you away, you're expendable. 60 years, 50 years, 40 years. This is guaranteed servitude, fam. This is guaranteed free labor. This is why they'll hit people oftentimes with these crazy ass sentences, because it guarantees bodies to do that free work. It's a guarantee. Okay, let's free them. Okay, now let's round them up. And then you got dummies out there who ain't got enough sense to know that this is going on. They ain't got enough sense. So they say stupid stuff like, there go to 13% again. There go to 13%. Now, don't get me wrong, fam. Yeah, we got some uncivilized mutts out there. But if the state of Alabama was following their own rules, their own laws in terms of paroling someone, they wouldn't have an 8% parole rate. It'll be more like 80%, as the interviewer said. That number would be closer to 80%, not 8%. So why are they not letting people go? It ain't because they hardened criminals and all this stuff. Yeah, they got some of those people like that, but most of the people that's in jail ain't even in jail for violent offenses. Most of these are non-violent offenses. They need people in prisons for free labor. This is what that's about. Even on the municipal side, even on a local side of things, when they are hauling people off in jail and they're ticketing people, they disproportionately ticket black folks. This is what they do, because this is how they pay their bills. This is how they pay for the police and the roads and all these type of things. Shaking people down. Policing for profits. This is what the whole police thing, it ain't nothing but a big old scam. It ain't about protecting the people. Because right now, most of you, if I took a poll right now, most of you would say that, in fact, let me take the poll. I'll take the poll and I'll prove it. How many of you feel safer today than you did, let's say, a year ago? How many of you feel safer today than you felt a year ago? Give me a thumbs up. Thumbs down if you don't feel safer today than you did a year ago. So I already know what the results are going to be. Because every year they ask for more money so they can put more cops on the streets. And every year, people are scared to death even more. Every single year, they're steadily pumping money into law enforcement, steadily pumping law into so-called criminal crime prevention initiatives. And that money is only being used, or primarily being used, to fund the people who run those organizations. They ain't making no real serious strides because they're not trying to. They need crime. Criminals need crime to continue to get paid so they can get paid. Criminals need crime to get paid. Now here's the deal. It's a big hustle. So the name of the game is to stay out of their crosshairs. Don't give them a reason. Well, they already got a reason. You don't want to give them an excuse to get you. You don't want to do something to put yourself in that position, because once they get you in their crosshairs, the name of the game is to put a jacket on your back. That's get you some probation, get you some time, get you start paying into the system. Because once they can get you on some probation or something like that, now they can take away some of those rights. And they can also set you up for the big juggler if you do something else, if you get accused of doing something else. Now they can hit you even harder. Now you're ready to cop a plea now, because they got you. You got a prior. That's how they got you, right? That's how they get you. So the name of the game is to try to stay out of their way. get all the way out of their way. You already know how they get down. They're going to be much harder on black folks than they are ever on anybody. So you're never going to be treated fairly. If you do, you got lucky. It was nothing else. It was the grace of God. You got lucky. That's it. But try to stay out of their way, because if they get you, they got you. And ain't no use to going in there begging for mercy from people who was hired to not show you any mercy. The best thing to do is stay out of their way. At least if they get you, if they do get you for something you did not do, at least you got some type of fight. You got some type of get back. It might take a while to fight them, because we've seen people come out of jail after 40 years, after 50 years, that got exonerated, and some people died in prison. But if you're right, there might be hope that somebody will see your cause. Somebody will see your case, take a look at it and say, you know what? I'm gonna help him. I'm gonna help her get exonerated. Y'all be careful out there, fam. The uncivilized mutts are running amok on every level at every major institution, and they're salivating, hungry, salivating. And you are the feast. No more talk.